All right. That's a fun show, football, and Good Morning Football, by the way. Great show. All right, here we go. For the game itself, the forecast has not changed, but I just want to give you a little hint that lake effect snow will fall during the game. The band of snow possibly will lift north of the stadium during tailgate hours. So there may be a little bit of a lull in Orchard Park on Saturday, but it will be coming back with gusty winds and temperatures in the 20s. It should be a snow game. And at times it may look like the Colts game of 2017. Then we get into the lake effect event for the weekend. That starts, it appears, Friday night. Okay, here we go. The band of snow could potentially set up across the South Towns Friday night, Saturday morning, but then we do think it will begin to lift north during the day, putting Buffalo, Clarence, Cheektowaga to Grand Island in the focus. Then that band will begin to head back south during the game. Preliminary snowfall totals, Buffalo, we're kind of in that 4 to 8, 9-inch range as well.
Tua Tagovailoa isn't even needed when the Miami Dolphins take on the Buffalo Bills. It's going to be snowing and freezing cold up in Buffalo this weekend. And this post is not clickbait, it's 100% real. And as you heard, there could be as much as 9 inches of snow on the field during the game. So I repeat, Tua Tagovailoa and his over-talked about results in cold weather doesn't matter whatsoever. He doesn't even need to play. I swear, I'm gonna prove it to you. If the Miami Dolphins lose to the Buffalo Bills this weekend, it won't be because of Tua Tagovailoa. For that matter, and I'm confident in saying this, that if the Miami Dolphins win against the Buffalo Bills, it won't be because of Tua either. You see, in fact, Tua is probably gonna be a non-factor in Saturday night's game. I'm gonna tell you right now, there is one key only to Miami Dolphins win this weekend. The Miami Dolphins must, underscore, asterisk, big stars. The Miami Dolphins must run the ball at least 30 times this weekend or they won't win, period. And don't expect Jalen Waddle, Trent Sherfield, or Tyreek Hill to have any real impact either. Unless, of course, they're willing to block. You see, I'm from Connecticut. I played in the snow. I played in the sleet. And I doubt any other Dolphins YouTuber is going to give you the perspective I'm going to give you right now. You see, this game will be won or lost completely dependent upon whose offensive line and defensive line shows up ready to play. This is the type of game that offensive linemen live for. This is the type of game where you go mano a mano, and your objective is to do nothing but destroy the guy in front of you. You ain't gonna have to worry about doing any pass rushing, and you're not gonna have to really worry about blocking edge rushers either. For the most part, you're not gonna have to worry about any fancy pulling plays on the offensive line either. All you have to worry about is beating the ever-loving shit out of the guy in front of you. If I were playing, I'd run out there like Mike Webster did for Pittsburgh. I don't care how cold it is, I would be wearing short sleeves. I'm gonna get inside your head. It could be snowing, 10 degrees, 15-mile-an-hour wind, and I'd show up with a short sleeve shirt just to let you know I'm ready. I'd wanna get in the head of the guy across from me and let him know for the next 3+ hours, I'm gonna put your dick in the dirt, or the snow as it may be. One of us is gonna feel unimaginable pain for 3 hours, and I intend on making that person you. Anyone, and I do mean anyone who has played football in the snow knows exactly what I'm saying. The football game you will see Saturday night, if these weather reports hold up, is real football. I don't care if you can run a 4.2 or a 4.4, it doesn't matter. Snow games are the great equalizer. But you may be saying to yourself, hey Barry, I don't hear anyone else saying this. Yeah, you do. There's a couple people who are trying to tell you, but you're not listening. How do I know this? As a part of NFL history, go back and look up the Ice Bowl. Go back and look at the game that weatherman was talking about in 2017 between the Colts and the Buffalo Bills. Let me show you the stat line from that game he was talking about. So I want to go over these stats from the 2017 snow game and show you exactly what I'm talking about. So this game was won by the Buffalo Bills 13-7, and these stats will blow you away. If you look at the passing for the Colts, Jacoby Brissett was the quarterback at that time. He went 11 for 22 for 69 total yards passing. Wow. On Buffalo's side, they had two quarterbacks. They went 7 for 16 for 92 yards of passing. You are not going to be able to throw in that kind of environment. Not going to happen. So let's see what the running backs did. This is very interesting. Frank Gore had 36 carries for 130 yards. 36 carries. Total, they had 46 carries for the game for 163 yards. And look what the Bills did. They had 32 carries for 156 from LaShawn McCoy, and they totaled 51 carries for 227 yards. When's the last time you've seen two teams collectively have nearly 100 rushing attempts? The quarterbacks were insignificant. It didn't matter who was quarterback because you had to run the ball. The Bills ran 51 times. The Colts ran 46 times. That's 97 rushing attempts in an NFL football game. Forget worrying about Tua in the cold. All he's going to have to do is turn around and hand it off. You understand now? You understand what I'm saying? If you don't, listen to what Dan Orlovsky says right here.
My dad's from Hawaii like Tua. It's taken about 75 years to get used to this snow stuff, man. And Sunday will almost certainly be the first time in Tua's career that he plays a game where the kickoff temperature is freezing. That's at or below 32 degrees. That could be an issue for Tua. He's played in 3 career games in which the temperature was below 50 degrees. Turns out those are the 3 worst games of his career, at least in terms of QBRs.
Miami, make this game about everybody but Tua Tagovailoa. Remember, Mike McDaniel went to Miami, and he was this renowned run game design person.
Okay.
Time to show.
Come on, say it,
Time
Dan.
to show, and I will tell you this.
Say it.
Run right at Buffalo's nickel corner, Taron Johnson. I think he's a very
That's
good
my
player.
brother.
I told
That's
you
my
guys about
brother.
this Minnesota a couple weeks ago. The Jets did it a bunch against Buffalo. This is him, that nickel now that's in the box. Look at the differential.
linebacker in this case.
323 pounds to 192. This wasn't just one play, everybody at home. There's 4 times in this game where the Jets got into these formations. There's that bunch up top. Johnson's now in the box. Look at it again, even with the motion, 200 pounds to 323. I'm not just giving you this, let's run the football. I'm giving you a very clear example of how you and who you should run at. Again, the nickel is a really good player for Buffalo. This is that 4-man surface that we're talking about. Now he's backside, again, into that box. Hey, Miami, Mike McDaniel, how many times can you get this to happen? Where you get over 100-pound advantage in your run game. Now, Buffalo's defensive front, Ed Oliver and Jordan Phillips, the interior of their defensive line, those guys have been fantastic.
Yeah.
But the more that you can create that space and you can get that nickel Johnson, number 7, in the box and run the football at him, I think that is by far your best chance to win this football game, and it has absolutely nothing to do with Tua.
I wanted him to keep going. I don't even want to talk.
It's not hard.
Because he knows.
Yeah.
I completely agree, Dan, and I was so frustrated with them running the ball only 15 times last week. I watched you and RC do Touchscreen Tuesday. I watched you talk about how the Chargers defended them and took away the middle of the field. I watched you talk about how the zone scheme with the San Francisco 49ers, the depth of their linebackers, had Tua in a spin cycle. We had a conversation about that game. What the hell do you think makes defenses change the way they are defending you? Line of scrimmage, run game.
Right.
That is how are you going to change the picture for your quarterback. I love that you said that. I 100% agree. And when I look at these stats, and I think about Mike McDaniel and all of the things that we've talked about, especially you coming from the Shanahan tree. I thought Shanahan did it for Purdy against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Totally.
He made more of an intricate run game plan in order for him to thrive. So go in this week knowing your elements, which is not favorable to throw the football in anyway, and learn from history and what this league has been doing this year and run the football so you can open up things for your guy.
By the way, in case you don't know, Dan Orlovsky grew up in Connecticut, played high school ball in Connecticut, then played for the University of Connecticut. So he absolutely knows what he's talking about in regards to snow games. I don't gamble on football, but if I was a gambling man, I would bet that the team that can run the best on Saturday night, the team that comes out ahead and whose running game and offensive line punishes the other team, is going to win. This game is going to be a lot of fun to watch. if the weather forecast holds up. I hope that Mike McDaniel finds the right shuffling, puts the right guys in place on the offensive line to dig in deep and plow some holes for the Miami Dolphins running backs. If the Dolphins can run, they will win, period. I have complete confidence on the other side of the ball that the Dolphins D-line can stop the Buffalo Bills from running, especially in these kind of conditions. This game will be 100% dependent upon the power, strength, and determination of the Dolphins' offensive line to open holes for the running backs. That and Mike McDaniel's commitment, undying commitment to keep running the ball. If the weather is as he's reporting, with a possibility of dumping 9 inches of snow, 15 to 20 mile an hour wind, if that's the weather, the Dolphins cannot win unless they control the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball and run the ball at least 30 times. Let's see what happens. Let me know what you think. It's going to be a fun game to watch, but I'd love to know what you guys think about snow games. Let me know.
Is anybody catching on to this Barry guy?